I texted you last week. I saw you on the news, and then I watched that press conference in Bordeaux about the landfill. And the the first thing I noticed when you were giving your speech and everybody else was giving their speech was the passion. You were passionate. I could feel the passion, and I'm tired of this. We're tired of this. Um, why were you so passionate about this issue? Actually, just tell everybody about what's going on in Bordeaux because I don't think the most of the city knows.
Okay, so there's a history of landfills surrounding the Bordeaux area. Um, it's basically a triangle that's been in there for over 50 years. Metro Center, like where the Titans practice now, and they have the soccer fields. It's a big, that used to be a landfill. There's a landfill over there by Bordeaux Hospital behind there. Now we have the one that's on Ashland City Highway on Briley Parkway. So it's like a big triangle. It's always been in this triangle, right, of landfills. And you cannot convince me that it's impacting our health because of the gases that's released from this, and there's really no air quality checks and things of that nature. So I live literally 1.5 miles from that landfill. And there's an odor that you can smell. And, I try to keep a log of what happened. Did it happen during the daytime? Was it at nighttime? Was it raining? Was it hot? Was it sunny? Was it cold? Was it rainy? Just all these different things. And I couldn't find out any rhyme or reason. So back in January, I got the bright idea, let's get all the stakeholders in the room and let's see how we can fix this problem. So I got TDEC, which is the Department of Environmental Conservation, Waste Management, who owns the landfill, and I got the Metro Solid Waste Department to come in. So I had the city, the state, the actual company. And I said, listen, I only have 3 questions. What's causing the smell? Is it harmful? And can it be fixed? And then, of course, my whole point was to keep people from finger pointing. But Waste Management stepped up and said, okay, this is our issue. This is what we're going to do to fix it and whatever. So I said, okay, cool, no problem. We'll give you time to get this. So, of course, they were supposed to get back with me some reports about the air quality checks, and they did these air quality checks. So fast forward 8 months later, we've been working. They were supposed to report back. They had made some capital improvements. So what happens is that because it's supposed to be just a C and D landfill, which means construction and demolition. So with all this construction going on, that's where they take it. Where they closed the other, it's called Atomic something. I forgot whatever they call the landfill. Well, it closed on September the 11th of this year. So that only left one C and D landfill, which is the one next to where I live. So now they were already pretty much at capacity. Now they're increasing the load into my area because it's the only one left. And it's producing a smell. And so fast forward in September, we had another meeting with Senator Gilmore and the aforementioned stakeholders. And they were telling us about what they were doing. We was like, okay, that's great. And they was like, oh, by the way, we want to expand 17 acres. I was like, oh, hell no, that's not going to happen. We were here because we're on a wind down period. They have about 2 to 4 more years left before it's at capacity. So it was like, we were pretty much at the point that we're on a wind down period. So Senator Gilmore and I was like, we have to get this information out to our community like ASAP. I don't want anybody to think that we know anything that we don't know, that we're sitting on information. We want, as soon as we found out, we did. So we had a town hall, and we had over 100 participants. And they asked the questions to Waste Management, did a lot of stuff. And at the end of that, at the town hall, I put a survey, put a poll, and I was like, if you are you in favor of the expansion of the landfill? 100% was no. So, and I understand that there's a lot of money that goes over in that landfill, and they make a lot of money from it. And what I've learned through this process, they get what's called a tipping fee. And the tipping fee is like $2 for every yard or something like that. Well, that tipping fee is close to somewhere between $2 and $3 million per year. and it goes back to Metro's general fund. So for all these years, they've been getting this tipping fee. Not $1 has been reinvested back into my community. We don't have sidewalks. We don't have any of this stuff that the infrastructure that other parts of town have. So that made me upset, and that just started it rolling for me, boiling me on the inside. And so the more that I started learning about, like this impacts me directly. My house is literally around the corner from this, right? So we have 3,000 and 4,000 square foot houses, some even 5,000 square foot houses that are sitting on an acre or more in land. In any other part of town, and they're in proximity to downtown, like 8 to 10 minutes from downtown, the streetway. You can get on any interstate in 5 minutes or less. In any other part of town, these would be $500 to $1 million houses. So not only are you impacting our health, you're impacting our economic stability, because 9 times out of 10, buying a house is the largest financial investment most people are making in their lifetime. And there's a safety issue because those trucks run up and down the street, they drop a lot of debris and it cracks up the windshield, and it can cause accidents, things of that nature. So those are like some of the biggest issues that I have. And the main thing is just, for me, is health. Because I don't know, well, I know you have some black friends, but when we grow up, on Saturdays and Sundays, when it's a nice day, we open, my grandmother and the mother would say, open up the windows, we're gonna air out the house. Let the air come in. Well, we can't do that in our neighborhood because it stinks, right? And if I wanted to invite you over, I would be embarrassed to have you outside on my patio because it stinks. I couldn't even do that. And so that's not fair. And I just was like, we're not going to take this anymore. We're not just going to do something and think that it's just going to be okay because it happens in this neighborhood. It's always been there. We've shouldered our burden for the trash of Davidson County for long enough. I don't care where it goes. That's not my problem. People's like, well, if you don't put it there, where'd you put it? I don't give a shit where it goes. Just not here. We've done our part. Find somewhere else to go put it. Right? Give us a chance at life. Let us have a better air quality. Let us heal from all this methane gas that's been going on around us, and all these highest cancer rates that we've had in the city, and because of the black people that living in such proximity to landfills. We want to see the property values go up as well. So I took it as a slap in the face when we kind of went to Metro Legal, and they're kind of like, well, this may not be our issue. But we're like, well, why did you pass the Jackson Law, right? The Jackson Law is supposed to be to regulate and expansion and the new landfills in this area. And the issue is that Waste Management feels that TDEC is the authorizer. I feel like the Metro Council should be the authorizer. So the goal now is to let a judge decide.
Okay.
And once the judge decide, we either go with Metro Council, or if we have to go with TDEC, then we'll just have to go that route, and we'll have to change some laws to make that happen.
I mean, it really sounds like to me, it sounds like a Metro issue. I mean, that's
if they're taking money from it, right?
Yeah. I mean, well, that $3 million, number one, no matter what happens, we need to figure out how to get some, if not all, that money to Bordeaux.